All right. So if you could hear me, put a yes in the chat. We're about to start. If you could hear me, put a yes in the chat. Today we're going to cover LinkedIn live video events. So first and foremost, I want to welcome you to day 3 of the 4-day LinkedIn growth training, specifically for entrepreneurs and business owners. The first day we covered how important it is to create a LinkedIn marketing strategy before you actually invest the time, the energy, the resources into building your personal brand and creating content on LinkedIn. Yesterday, we covered LinkedIn newsletters. Today, we will cover LinkedIn live video events. And then tomorrow, we will cover what you should be posting on the feed: text posts, short form videos, polls, images, carousels, to get in front of new people and to potentially get hundreds of thousands or millions of organic impressions every single month. If you already have an established LinkedIn network and you own the type of business, or you want to leverage LinkedIn specifically to get very high ticket, high quality clients every single month or every quarter, then today's training is going to be the most critical, I would say. I mean, they're all pretty critical, but really, other than strategy, this is probably the one thing that you can do to seriously differentiate your personal brand, to attract the right buyers, and to create a hub of content, or you could call it the heart or core of your content, where you could use just this one piece of the puzzle to scale not just your visibility on LinkedIn, but beyond. Okay. So I want to get a gauge of the room. I want to get a feel for who I am speaking to today. So if you have ever hosted a live video event on LinkedIn, put a 1 in the chat. If you have never hosted a LinkedIn live video event, put a 2. So you have hosted a live video event, put 1. You have never hosted one, put 2. All right. All right, perfect. So as we could see from the comments, there are a lot of 2s. And I'm not surprised. This is also the reason why I need you to listen and to really pay attention, because this is why I believe it's the ultimate leverage. If you were to ask yourself, and you could do this right now, hey, how many of my competitors and your competitors are posting text posts on LinkedIn? The answer would be half of them, most of them. If I were to ask you how many of your competitors are posting short form videos on LinkedIn, it would probably be increasing in percentage. So maybe a year or 2 ago, it would be some, maybe today it's most. And then if I were to ask you how many of your competitors are hosting a monthly LinkedIn live video event that is really, really valuable, what would your answer be? It would probably go down from some or most to, you would really have to start thinking about it. So maybe like 1 or 2 other people, if you could even think of those 1 or 2 people. If you agree with that, put a yes in the chat. If you agree with what I just said, put a yes in the chat. So I see tons of yeses already. What does this prove? This proves that this is your ultimate blue ocean on LinkedIn. Most of your competitors are not going live. Most of your competitors will not be willing to go live. And most of your competitors, if they do go live, they're probably not doing it well. And they're probably boring people to death in the process. So I would argue that if you were to master this skill, which is just sharing what you know live in front of an audience, and we'll get into why LinkedIn gives you more leverage compared to other platforms. If you did this, you could potentially be building the most profitable skill when it comes to social media or visibility that you could build within the next 1 to 3 years. And this is also proven by the data and by other thought leaders in the category. If you listen to Gary Vee, you're hearing him say, go live, go live, go live, and that live social selling is the future. Well, we won't get into too much of that today, but first and foremost, let's get into why this is so critical to your overall strategy, long-term strategy to building your personal brand on LinkedIn, and why LinkedIn gives you an advantage when starting to master this skill. Okay, so put start in the chat if you're ready for the presentation, and now we kind of just understand, based on differentiation from competitors, that live video on LinkedIn could be your ultimate blue ocean. All right, cool. So I'm going to bring it up. Okay. So one of the reasons why LinkedIn Live Video can give you so much leverage when it comes to building your personal brand long term is that it's very difficult to focus on, at least for me, and from what I've seen from others, on 100 pieces to a puzzle at once. So this is why people can get stuck when they're starting on LinkedIn, is they think of, oh, I have to optimize my profile. Then I have to prepare a spread of content. I have to prepare, 20 videos, scripts, polls, this and that. I have to make sure that they match brand pillars. And it can just be extremely overwhelming. And that's just for 1 month. That doesn't even include looking at data or anything. There's newsletters, there's text posts, polls, short form videos, and you're supposed to figure all of these moving pieces out like by yourself. And then you're just like, I'd rather not. If you've ever felt overwhelmed just even thinking about something like that, put a 1 in the chat. I want to know who you are. LinkedIn Live Video could be a way to completely remove that overwhelm. So if you had a choice to do A, which we just mentioned, or B, just share what you know on a live for 20 minutes every single month. It becomes a lot easier. You're focusing on one thing instead of 100 things. And what we have found with our clients is that when that focus goes to that one thing, the presentation can be a lot higher quality. And then, of course, whatever is repurposed from that presentation can be a lot higher quality and can lead to the results that they want. But it takes a very complicated puzzle and just literally makes it so simple. It's like, here's the key. So the way that this would work, and what I would recommend if I were starting, would be I would go live. It would be 20 to 25 minutes. I would share a story, something that I've experienced, share 3 tips or 3 steps. And of course, understanding who it is that you're speaking to, what problem they want help with that you could help them solve, where you want them to go next is critical. So this still does require what we learned on day 1, which is defining your LinkedIn marketing strategy. But as long as you have that, you have real expertise, and you're willing to just get a little bit uncomfortable in front of a camera, this is usually the best way to go. So you do live for 20 minutes, you download the replay. With a couple of AI tools, you're able to get, 8 videos for the month, let's say, at minimum. And then you get the transcript from that replay. You're able to download the transcript, which is every single word that you said during those 25 minutes or 20 minutes. And from that, you can use a bundle that we've created or any other AI tools, if you know the prompting, to create more assets. The problem is that some people will try to do this, but they don't have a defined marketing strategy, especially specifically for LinkedIn. And because they don't have that well of a defined strategy and they aren't really prepared for the presentation, what they're repurposing, like what they did is ineffective. And so they're repurposing something that's ineffective at scale. And then they're like, oh, why isn't anyone booking calls? So I want you to see how scalable this could be, but it really comes down to the messaging and to you being willing to getting a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, so that's just number one. You have a tremendous advantage, again, if you're a long-term thinker, if you have a high ticket offer, and we're going to go into why. So the other thing here is that the data will prove the power of live video for business owners. A lot of the complaints that people will say about LinkedIn, especially when they're first starting to post, is that, oh, people view my stuff, but they don't comment or they don't share. Live video will get more engagement against anything, bar none. So it's proven by the data that you'll get 7 times more the reactions, 24 times more comments. And something that people really don't talk about is timeshare. So if you only do like pre-recorded short form videos and the videos are 1 minute, I may watch 20 seconds or 10 seconds of that 1 minute, maybe 3 times a week. But if you do a 20-minute live video, I may watch 5 minutes. And that time does compound. Plus, I'm watching your short forms. So you get more time from me. You get more of that stickiness when it comes to live. Also, when you get more comments and more reactions, people reveal that they're watching. Because if they don't engage with your content publicly, you don't know that they're watching. And then there's no opportunity for you to connect with them or start a conversation with them. So this is very, very important. Now, this is really where the math becomes super simple and where you could really see the value of the LinkedIn live video events. So LinkedIn, if you did not know, will allow you to invite 4,000 people every single month to your LinkedIn live video event. This is built in within the platform. You can't invite 4,000 people in one go. So this is important to understand. You have to invite 1,000 people every single week for 4 weeks, and then you host a live event. Does this make sense? So if I was going to host it next week, how many people would I be able to invite? Let's see who's paying attention. How many people would I be able to invite between this week and next week? Put it in the chat. 1,000. Melinda's paying attention. Melinda, and Richard, and Donna, and Oscar in the chat. But Melinda is first. Put Melinda in the chat, everyone. So, yes. So that is why you need to plan in advance, which is why I have a saying that your live video event started 1 month ago. People don't appear places by magic, right? You have to send the notifications. You have to plan in advance. Now, what is it that you need to even create this? We'll get into it shortly, but you're going to need the title and the date. So the first commitment that I want you to make to yourself, if you're serious about this, is you want to say, okay, by the 3rd or 4th week of September, I'm going to host my live video events. You come up with a date, a time, and a topic, and you can create the event today. You don't have to have the entire outline or what you're going to cover or the presentation prepared. You have upwards to 3 or 4 weeks whenever you plan it to prepare for that, but you can create it and start sending the invites. So if 4,000 people over 4 weeks are invited, you usually should see anywhere between a 600 and 800 person acceptance rate, meaning that of the 4,000 people, there's at least 600 people who clicked accept. One of the things that is amazing is that the 600 people that said, yes, I want to go to this live event, they will be saved on a list. And so now you've segmented an audience of high interest. And that brings me to the importance of the specifics when it comes to the title. You want to be as specific as I would recommend for a LinkedIn newsletter. Your live video events on LinkedIn are not for you to hang out in your pajamas eating chicken wings like you would be maybe on TikTok or Instagram. They're not necessarily a community building tool. I have found them to be the most effective when it comes to conversion. So you want to speak to the people that you want to potentially buy from you. And so let's say that you're helping CEOs start going live on video. It literally could just be like CEOs, three steps to start going live on video. The people that would register for that event see themselves or are CEOs as CEOs or actually are founder CEOs. And they want to start going live on video. If not, why would they register for that event? Does this make sense? Put a 1 in the comments. So the important thing to know is that if the topic is too general, then you're probably going to get a general audience, and you don't want a general audience when it comes to live. Okay. So let's say you get 600 people to click attend, you should have around 150 people live. Okay. So 4,000 invites, 600 click accept, 150-ish people show up live. Let's just say it's even 100. If you have 100 people live, you should get at least 3 high quality prospects. Of course, this will depend on the messaging. So you're teaching them valuable information and you're speaking to the right person, and delivery. And then let's say 3 high quality prospects, you close 1. You could close more than 1, but within a short time frame, you close 1. If your offer is 10K, that's 120,000 additional per year, 25K, 300,000 per year, 100K, 1.2 million, 50K, 600,000, right? That's 1 client off of 1 LinkedIn Live per month. So this kind of brings us to the top mistakes that people make when they start going live, is that they don't plan in advance. And because they don't plan in advance, they only invite 1,000 people. They maybe get 100 to say yes. And then they'll be like, I only had 7 people live. Well, you didn't give them enough time. And, you have to plan in advance. You have to market. The other thing is the title is not designed or not created for ideal prospect. And the other mistake is what we will cover tomorrow, which is you create it and ghost. So you create the live event today, you send your 1,000 invites. Every week between now and 4 weeks, you send 1,000 invites, but you're not posting other than that. When you see some of the biggest players, especially like within, let's say, marketing or coaching, like let's say Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone or Alex Hormozy, whenever they get closer and closer to their event, you will not only see them like get the notifications of the event, you will see them posting everywhere times 10, and you'll even get targeted with ads. The reason is because they understand that the more that they are seen before leading up to the event, every single time you see them, it's like a reminder, oh yeah, I got to go to that thing. I got to go to that webinar. But if you completely disappear and then just expect people to remember in a month that they have to go to your live event, good luck. Your show up rate is not going to be that good when it comes to live video. Does this make sense? So why do you keep saying 4K when you said we can only invite 1,000? Because that's 4,000 in a month. So you can invite 1K per week. And that's what you want ideally, is to do one big event per month that is planned with the 4,000 invites. All right. So from the time that you do the live video event, you're going to get a recording, like let's say post live, you'll get a recording, and then I'm going to show you how from just a transcript, you could start to scale your content. Before I do that, I'll show you how to actually create a live video event. But again, you're going to need the topic, the title, the time. And then from there, you want to understand that you actually have to share good information. So you shouldn't just show up and wing it. You should have at least an outline for you to follow. And the information that you share during the live should make it very clear that you are a true expert in whatever it is that you're trying to position yourself as. I should not listen to your live video and it should not sound like a generic Google blog post that anybody with ChatGPT could have written. Does this make sense? Put a yes in the chat. This makes sense. Okay. So to actually create your live, and hold on here. There are a few softwares that you can use. Hold on. But I like using StreamYard. So it has, like a duck like this, and then it shows StreamYard. So to create an account in StreamYard is free. You could just go to StreamYard.com. All you would have to do is then click destinations and click add a destination. And then it's going to prompt you to log into your LinkedIn profile. And once you're connected, you'll see your face with the LinkedIn logo next to it. So it's connected. Then you will click home and you'll go to live stream. You'll click your face right here, and then you will put in the title of the live event and you will click schedule for later. So live video for founders. 3 steps to start going live on video for founders. So here it's about live video and I'm speaking to founders. I could even move who this is for, founders, to make it shorter. Here, I'm going to put schedule for later. And again, you want it to be around 4 weeks out. So let's say I'll do the 22nd and we'll do it at 11:15 a.m. And then it's going to prompt you to upload a thumbnail. For those of you who purchased the GPT bundle pinned to the top, which I'll review in a second, you'll get a Canva template, and it's pretty simple. You just drag your picture, change the title, and then download. So founder, so here I'll put live video for founders. So I'll put founders, live video strategy. Okay. Then I'm going to download the page. Come back to StreamYard and then upload the thumbnail. Create live stream. So now it's actually created. And when I go to my LinkedIn profile, I'll be able to invite 1,000 people to the event. And I'll show you that right now. So as you can see here, I just go to events. And then here, you see, founders, 3 steps to start going live on video. And then all I have to do is click share and invite. Then I'll see a list of people like this. And I could invite people one by one, just based on, do they seem like CEOs, founders, what's their title here? But that would take me a while. So there I've invited 5, but it's going to take me forever to get to 1,000. So the other way to do it is click share, invite, and then you will need a filter. So let's say I wanted to focus on founders and CEOs in the US, because most of my clients are in the US. I could just click the United States, and then I can scroll down, or I can click the United States and a filter. So let's say technology. Most people that are in my network within technology, as you can see, lean towards founders or CEOs. And then I could just scroll down. As I scroll, more people unlock, as you can see. And then when I click this check box at the top left, now I've selected 80 people. The further down I go, the more people unlock. So then I could check it again. And now it's 110, so on and so forth. And then I could do that until 1,000 people. As people start to join, there will be a list saved. May take a minute, but there'll be a list of the attendees saved here. And then as the list build, I could see the attendees. And the last thing you want to do is send them a bot message like everybody else. But you do want to potentially engage with their content. And then there are some follow-up things after the event. But the point is that you could create the live event, and you can send your first 1,000 invites today without having the entire presentation ready. Does that make sense? So put a 1 in the chat. That makes sense. Put your ideas for your next live video events title in the chat. I want to see what you guys are thinking. What's the date and what's the title? I like that. I like that, Melinda. Nurse educators, 5 steps to reset. Intro to niche. Leadership tools for new leaders. I like that, Oscar. And maybe you want to keep it to 3 or 1, like the ultimate leadership tool. But yes. So let's get to the repurposing power of this. Are you ready? Put yes in the chat. And you have a date. How to hire sales leadership in medtech. September 25th is good. Okay, perfect. So earlier this week, I think on day 1, you guys remember I was wearing the red shirt. So this is the recording. So when you go live, StreamYard, if you pay, will give you the recording. If not, there are ways to get around it with screen recording your screen, but I highly recommend you could pay for StreamYard or Restream. And if you're going to use it for content, it's going to be worth the investment. So I have the recording here, and what I've done is I've put the recording in something called Descript. I would argue that this is the Canva of video, editing. And why I did this is because this is what I'm looking for. So in this 1 hour presentation, I said a lot of stuff. And some of that stuff was good. And here's all the words that I said. And if you're an expert that does this at least once a month or has other meetings or does other talks or webinars or presentations, and even if you just have a few recordings, you have enough content to do what I'm about to show you. And we've created the tools necessary for you to do that. So I'm going to show you. And the reason why we've created this, by the way, I just duplicated it so that it doesn't affect the main one, is because I would have expert clients. They had recordings, they were going live, and they would delay, or they would have to put a lot more energy into creating posts from what they had said than they would have liked. So we created a bundle of GPTs here, which I'm going to show you how to use live. That will make this process a lot easier, because the words that I shared, some of them are gold, and it will take me so long to read that these things just do it. So down here, you see that there's a content calendar, and we'll just change that to September. And really, it could just be like content calendar. We have the dates here, September through the end of September. And you see that there's different types of content. So there's quote, short video, text with image, newsletter, short video, text post, short video, and it's already set and kind of pre-tagged for you. So what we will do is leverage these GPTs and leverage the words, my own words, not something just randomly created by ChatGPT, to create a month of content in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So that you could really just witness the power of repurposability when you go live. Okay. So as we can see here, this is within ChatGPT, but it is pre-trained. So you'll see the Growth Academy quote selector. All you're going to do to use this tool is paste your words. So you see, all I'm doing is pasting the transcript. I don't have to prompt it or anything. It's already pre-trained to grab the quotes that will position me as a leader. So I just paste, and then I start reading the quotes, and I start selecting the ones that I like. So let's see, I'm not here to convince you personal branding is important. If you don't already believe that, you should probably leave the presentation. 2 years ago, it was just post every day, but it's not quality or quantity. It's really both. I like this one. So I'm going to grab it. And then I'm going to go here to September 1st, and I'm going to click open. And what Notion is, it's a tool for you to organize yourself operationally. So here 2 years ago is post every day, but it's not quality or quantity. It's really both. And to even enter this game to play, to have a chance at gaining market share, we have to first accept the fact that you have to not just be consistent, but it has to be qualitative. If not, you won't stand a chance. And that's just the reality. And those are my own words. It's not making stuff up here. And so this is how these are trained. It's not inventing things. It's just using your own words. And some of the times you'll be surprised. You're like, wow, I said that. And the answer is yes. When behavior changes, your distribution and where you meet people also has to change. I like this one. I'm going to go here. And another quote I'm going to post is September 17th. And so I already have that. Your customers. Okay. And we'll get one more. Let me see. Don't chase two rabbits. I like this one. And so I go here, put it in here. Don't chase two rabbits. All right. So we have our quotes, and now we can move forward with, I'm going to do the text with the images, the newsletters, and we will do the polls, and then we'll go to the short videos. I could also change some of these. Like I could put this one as a quote if I wanted to, but we'll get to that. So let's go back. I'm going to grab the transcript, and then let's actually go to text posts. As you can see here, it's another GPT. It's already trained. Up here at the top, you could just choose 4.0 or 5. I'll change it to 5 auto. It really depends on your preference. And then paste the transcript and click enter. So here. This is good. I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to go back here. And here's a text post. You can do a little bit of editing here and there, but it has taken my message. So what are the 3 questions? Like, what is your goal? Who do you need to attract? Where are you leading them to off of LinkedIn? It's taking all of my IP and just organizing it into the style of a LinkedIn post. There we go. And now I have a long text post based on my IP in my own words for September 3rd. Let's do a couple more of those, and then we'll move to the newsletters. And if you want to purchase this, the link is pinned to the top of the YouTube comment section. So let's do create a post on the one goal. So I'm going to have it basically split all of the main things that it did it on. I like it, and it's following basically exactly what I said to the T. So most people get on LinkedIn and say, I want this, I want that, I want to be on podcasts. It's what I said on Monday. This one's good. So as you can see here, now I have my second one. That's a little bit of a longer text post, and it's just based on the one goal. I could have another one here, text with image. So we'll just grab one more, and then we'll move to the next one. Who do you need? And remember, it still has my transcript. I like this. LinkedIn is not a lottery. It's a mirror. And as you could see here, it even includes the example that we had on Monday. So it says, if you run B2B, if you run ads for B2B SaaS founders, don't post broad marketing hacks. Post about scaling Google ads for SaaS. It's getting all of those little details from the transcript. Okay. And I could add a quote from the previous one here. So then you would go like 3 more times into the text ones, grab the ones that you like. Let's say that you wanted to create different ones. You go to the GBT, and then you could always say new chat. You drop it, and you could say, you know, create 5 text posts. But it's already trained within this context. So here's one with the 3 questions, the mouse and the cheese. Oh my God. You post, you engage, you put in 20 hours a month, nothing happens, no leads, no clients, you quit, not because LinkedIn doesn't work. So I did say that on Monday. The future is brand. AI will commoditize your service. I like this one. I'm going to grab it. And then views versus revenue. I like that one too. And let's say I like the AI one and it was a little short. I could say build on this. But it's always going to do so within the context of the transcript that it's given. It's not going to start making stuff up. All right, and then we'll do this one. All right, and then let's do the newsletters. So this is critical. I'm going to just grab the transcript again. Going to go here to the top, and you see that there's a GPT for the newsletters. I personally use these GPTs, by the way, when I'm showing you like all the newsletters that I've done that rank on Google. I take my YouTube transcripts from my videos, and that's what I put. Hold on, it's taking a minute. So here we go. All you have to do, I mean, you could keep it 4.0, but I'm going to just change it to GPT-5. Just paste the same transcript. You're going to put it in there. This is why having the right messaging for a 25-minute live or 20-minute live is critical, because just imagine if I'm using a terrible presentation or a presentation where I'm speaking to the wrong audience and then I'm creating 20 days or 30 days of content from it. So let's do number 1. So this is going to drill down on the 3 questions that we covered. And then you could just give the information. So you see here, it understands who I am because it's pulling from the transcript and because I mentioned this in the transcript. Okay, so perfect. Now I have a newsletter and I don't have to spend 25 hours pulling my hair creating one. And if I wanted to, I could do a little bit more, but you find that the quality is pretty good with just a couple of tweaks every single time. So I have that. I'm going to hold on. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is remember that in the first training, I did live profile reviews, and some of the profile, like all of them were great. So when I go up here, what I'm going to do is actually use another GPT that we have for a different style newsletter called the case study GPT. So I'm going to tell it to turn one of the profile reviews into a case study that I could publish. Turn one of the profile reviews into a transcript or into a case study. And then here's the transcript. So it went with Tracy, and I don't know why I decided that, but we'll see. So as you can see here, case study scaling a niche recruiting firm on LinkedIn. And now I'm going to say, do Dr. Tina. And as you can see here, it says, do you want to do Dr. Tina or Ryan into a case study? And this is actually insightful because each of them had their own inflection point of learning. And in Dr. Tina's case, it was the fact that maybe she would want to leverage LinkedIn for a different leg of her business. So Instagram is for B2C side of her business, and then maybe LinkedIn would be leveraged for B2B. And I could try to so you could see that like it understood that from the get-go. So Dr. Tina transformed her LinkedIn approach from consumer focused to B2B focused, unlocking a new revenue channel, or like she could unlock a new revenue channel. But just that shift in focus is really the unlock that other business owners could benefit from. And it's understanding that just from the context by itself, right? So just with a couple of more tweaks, I could publish this. And it's like, this is the power of a 10-minute LinkedIn audit that you could potentially get for free if you join the next live. And the power of maybe thinking of LinkedIn as a B2B focused channel for your business if you're already doing B2C, right? So you see here that with just transcripts, with words, you can start to scale content. And then this would go for the next one. Right? And then here we have polls. So I'm going to take the same transcript from the same live and then go up here, click the poll creator. And it's going to give me a list of like 10 polls that I could potentially schedule on LinkedIn if I wanted to. I like this one. Do you believe brand? So then I would just go to the polls section, drop it in here. And it's creating the polls again based on the transcript. I like this one. The funnel conversation. Is your personal brand now more powerful than funnels? That'll be a good one. Okay. So as you can see here, with probably 45 minutes, you can turn one LinkedIn live video into a month of content. And these GBTs really help to expedite that process. I would say like this dashboard is one of the things that could help you speed that process up. And then just learning how to use like Opus or Descript to actually get the video clips from the live video event. But first I want to answer questions. You don't see my screen. I wonder why. Hold on. Stop screen. Now, do you see it? Yeah. So, I mean, you guys saw most of it. So now here, like I'll show you within the 20 minutes that we've just spent together, I now have all of this organized, right? And it's almost like I probably have 15 to 20 days already. All I have to do is just open and it's all sitting there. And then I could natively schedule on LinkedIn, or there's actually a way with clients that purchase a bundle that we could help you schedule it from Notion if you're serious about it. So here, and it's all here. And then the next thing that I would really just have to focus on are the short videos. So I'm going to show you maybe how I could get like 3 short videos in the next 10 minutes. Put a 1 in the chat if you would like to see that. And then how we just leverage the transcript with the GPTs to have the copy to post. But put a yes in the chat. Or a 1, whatever I said. And okay, and there's like I totally forgot to mention this. So it's like the most important thing, and I forgot to mention it. So when you purchase the bundle today, you not only get the dashboard. So I'm going to show you. So you not only get all of this, the instructions, you not only get these GBTs here, all of them, the September content calendar and everything, but we will actually, you'll get a content session for an hour and 15 minutes where we will sit with you one-on-one and take a video or a recording that you have and plug in the entire month of content. And that is included when you purchase the bundle today, which is insane. Like people that have purchased this offer, like Oscar in the chat, Oscar told me that this should have been worth 5,000 seriously. He's like, it's worth 10 times this. And so if you've purchased the bundle with the month of content, share the value that you think that it was in the chat, because you get the access to the GPTs for life that are already, you don't have to prompt them. You just drop the transcript. And then you get an organized dashboard if you want to stay in Notion for your content, but you also get us basically being the orchestrator of filling your content calendar for the first month, which is crazy for the price that it is. And it's pinned to the top, and that is only today. When you click that link after today, that offer will expire and go back to the original price, which I think is almost double. It is the best thing. You will be amazed for real. I love it. Yeah, Barbara, just repurchase and we'll do the month. And Monique, oh yeah, Monique purchased too. It is worth way more than what she's selling it for. It is a game changer. It's just like, imagine if you didn't have to worry about content for a month because you were able to get it in an hour. And all you have to do is show up with a 15-minute video, 20-minute video. And if you don't have one, I could give you some guidance on how to record one. You just have to say that when you buy, like, hey, I don't even have a video. All right, so let's go to Descript. So this is Descript, and I've uploaded my video there, right? And we'll kind of get rid of this. Well, no, I want to save it, but it's not really edited. So Descript, like I said, is kind of like the Canva of video creation. And you see this on the side. So you'll see Underlord. And do you see my screen? Okay, yes, you do. AI tools, properties, elements. So AI tools here. And then here you'll see create clips. So we can create clips, and you probably want to stick to like 60 seconds. And depending on how long the video is, stick between like 5 and 10. I only have 20 here because it's an hour. So I'm going to say maybe like 10 at 60 seconds, submit. And then what it will do is, based on the words of your transcript, it will kind of pick the best 10 or 5 60-second clips of where I'm saying something that it thinks is going to get attention. And as you can see here, when the clips are done, they pop up and I click, and then all I have to do is click play. I help you spend more on ads without the ads losing the effectiveness or losing money. Yep. That's what I would say. I don't like that one. Next. You're a B2B SaaS founder. You're spending $2,000 a month on Google Ads. You want to spend $10,000, but every single time you do, it's not as effective. So without a strategy, I like this one. Without a strategy, it turns into a nightmare. Now, the reason why I didn't like the first two is because it doesn't understand context. So it was a great hook, but I'm saying that as an example of a video that Ryan can do. And so I would, unless there was a little bit of more pre-context, then I wouldn't post that. And so here, without a strategy, it turns into a nightmare on LinkedIn, especially for a business owner who wants to grow year after year, who understands that AI will commoditize a lot of whatever it is that they provide, who understands that brand will be the ultimate differentiator within the next 2 to 5 years, especially as AI continues to become more prevalent and continues to become a daily experience, especially voice within your customer's life. And then that is the clip, right? It's 37 seconds. I could pull this down to make it bigger. I can click done. And I like this one. So this is one that I could export. And if I wanted to put captions on it, I could. All I have to do is click Underlord and then put add captions. I don't even have to like click around and figure it out anymore. I can just use Descript's AI agent and be like, do this or do that. Yay! We have captions. So here it is. Without a strategy, and then I can move it down if I really cared and wanted to. It really turns into a nightmare on LinkedIn. And especially for a business owner who wants to grow year after year, who understands. So that's ready. I can export, and then I could download. Then what I could do is, Descript can technically do this, but I like using our GPTs a little bit better because they don't come out well. So I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm going to go to my dashboard, and I'm going to say, okay, this is for the video. I'm going to paste the text here that goes to this video and get the copy that I'm going to post with it. So if you're a business owner trying to grow year after year, but you're not thinking strategically about how you're showing up online, I could even say on LinkedIn, you're falling behind. Okay, this is great. I love it. And then I could go here, and this could be the video that I'm going to post on September 2nd. So I'm going to open, I'm going to paste this copy here. And then I could even upload the video here. Yay. If I didn't want to upload it there, what I could do is I could just put it under this files section, choose a file, and then it could upload there as well. Let's do one more. And as you can see, I already have like 20 days of content for September, which is pretty crazy. But that's only because it was a long enough presentation. I'm speaking to the right audience. And I'm saying some good things throughout the presentation. So just keep that in mind. Let's listen to some of the other ones. Sometimes I read it. So he said it best. Your personal brand is the new funnel. So if you have, and if you see here, if it's repeated, I could just delete it. So you just highlight and delete funnel. If you have a belief that you have to have a fancy website or a fancy landing page to lead people to, and that's the only way you could get high ticket clients or any type of business on LinkedIn, that's completely wrong. Most of the consultants that I work with that have something extremely, and I like this, right? So I'm actually going to get rid of all of this. And then, so it's basically, if you believe you need a fancy website to get business, you're wrong. And I'm going to get rid of that. So here's a 39-second clip, and I know it will hit the mark and resonate with a lot of people who are consultants, who have high ticket offers, who don't have a website, and who want to leverage LinkedIn to get a couple of clients a quarter, because their ticket is probably $100,000 to $250,000 a year. So start to put your questions in the chat. And then again, I'm just going to grab this. I'm downloading the video, same thing as before. And I'm going to September 5th. Gonna use the same GPT here, but post the other script for the video. So if you believe that high ticket clients only come after they browse a fancy website, that belief is costing you business. Perfect. Done. Come here. And then all I have to do is upload this video. And so you could start to see that with the bundle and with just one video editing tool, either Descript or Opus, 1 hour of your time a month, like of you editing, as long as you have a video that's 20, 25 minutes, is well worth it. You could do a whole month of content. So to purchase the bundle, all you have to do is click the link at the top of the chat, and you will get the entire dashboard, all of the GBTs, and we will help you actually sit with you on a Zoom and create your first month of content with whatever video you bring to the table. Which tool is this? Which one are you talking about, Donna? It sounds, this is important. It sounds like it's mission critical to choose the right topic for your LinkedIn Live. 1000%. How do you evaluate all the different options and decide what topic to choose? This has to do with knowing your business and with knowing where you have the highest leverage and with knowing who is going to pay you the most with the least resistance. So let's say in my case, a lot of my highest ticket clients, they want to start going live, all right? And they are founders and CEOs. And so the topic for me becomes very clear, how to start mastering live video as a founder CEO, how to start going live on LinkedIn as a founder CEO. Another thing that my highest ticket clients may want to do is not necessarily have anything to do with business. They're already the CEO of a company with hundreds of employees, and they're actually thinking of their exit within a few years. And they know that they should double down on their personal brand so that the business that they're already thinking of building in 3 years has a lot more advantage because they have a personal brand by that point. And so a lot of them want to grow from, like, let's say 5 or 10,000 followers to 100,000. Founder and CEOs, how to go from 5,000 to 50,000 followers on LinkedIn in 6 months, right? But I can only come up with those topics because I deeply understand who they are. The video tool was Descript. And if you had to guess, like, let's say you don't have many clients yet. I mean, I know that you're in med device or med tech and they're looking for talent. So I would lean towards what is their highest need. And do you see any patterns? So let's say that they have like the biggest need with VP of sales, right? And how to hire the right VP of sales in the next 60 days for med tech. Can you tell us more about what the actual live video experience is like? Does the audience interact with you? Do you have to read the chat? I mean, they interact with you if you get them to interact with you. I want you to treat it like being on a stage, right? If someone were to say, hey, you have a TED Talk in a month, you would be preparing. You would have a script. You would get in front of the mirror. You would plan your outfit. You would practice in front of the mirror. You would maybe even have someone record you on video before you do your talk and then like watch it back. Where people go wrong is that, number one, they don't plan in advance, and number two, they don't take it as seriously as they should. And that's really the best advice that I could give is, like, the better the presentation, the more juice you're going to be able to squeeze from the lemon or the lime, right? Not just in terms of live engagement, but in terms of people following up after, because part of the equation that we didn't even cover today is replay views. And with your LinkedIn newsletter, you guarantee replay views. So if I have 5,000 connections or followers on LinkedIn, I launch a LinkedIn newsletter that brings me to 500 subscribers and 250 guaranteed people reading my newsletter every single week. That means that no matter what, I'm going to at least get 50-ish, 200, maybe like 250 people will open it, but let's say like 70-ish will actually click it and start watching. I could send my live replay to all of those 250 people that open the newsletters, and at least one person is going to watch it. I also think that there's like a lot of ego when it comes to live. And I would say like entitlement, like people want to go live tomorrow and just have 100 people their first time. And that's not the way it works. You have to prepare in advance. And sometimes you have to start from zero. Like when I started going live on YouTube, and sometimes I'll still do it. I'll do a pop-up if there's 0 or 1 person on the live. I don't care, because some of the lives that I've had on YouTube with 0 people have gotten thousands of replay views. But I already have that mentality. If I have a podcast that features successful women in tech and business who share their career insights, and I'm building a corporate leader, what's your question? Mary, I think it cut off your question. I don't see the rest of your question, but the point is that like the action steps for today are that number one, you decide on the date of your live event and the title. That's it. And then you start preparing within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And for those of you who purchased the bundle that are pinned to the top, I'll see you shortly in your content session. And for those of you who have not purchased the bundle yet, just understand that that will expire at midnight. Tomorrow we'll be covering content that you should be publishing on the feed, short form videos, text posts, polls, the cadence, how to think about them. Should they all be about business? A little bit of higher level stuff. But around 70%, 80% of your content could come from a live. If you want to be more advanced, then you mix maybe with some created stuff that we'll talk about tomorrow. So God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 4.